some point, I had to do it with someone my age. And my mom caught me. I was dealt with, they beat me and all of that. So that fear, okay, I've been beaten already, so what's the need again? I had to lock up, and no one ever asked me, where did you learn it from? The only thing they was just, okay, I was a bad boy, okay, maybe I was watching too much of TV, so I was frustrated from televisions and all of that. So that was what happened.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Living African Podcast. Today, I am super excited and super inspired by our guest, Emmanuel Kalu. He is actually originally from Nigeria. And the topic we're going to talk about today is one of the topics that I have always looked forward to talking about on this platform. Number one, it's a story, a very powerful story by an African man. I've always encouraged our African men to come on here and share their story. And not only that, it's also a story that is extremely devastating and extremely humbling when you listen to the story, and the fact that an African man is willing to show his face on this platform and talk about such a very vulnerable and painful moment in his life, I totally applaud it. I hope that this conversation actually serves as an example to show that there's so much power in vulnerability, and also serve as an encouragement to have more of our African brothers to come on our platform and share their story, no matter how devastating it is, because one story at a time can actually change a life. So today we will be talking about sexual abuse, especially of the African man. I was just looking at some stats, and sexual abuse actually is way more prevalent than actually reported, especially in men. And I honestly believe that, and this is based on my opinion, I honestly believe that it's because our African men especially have that ego, and it's hard for them to open up and be that vulnerable because they look at it as a weakness. Actually, for a man to come up and say, hey, I was raped or I was sexually abused, it's almost impossible. So I'm super, super excited and elated and extremely grateful to have Emmanuel Kalu here all the way from Nigeria. Hi, Emmanuel. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Good evening from here.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming on and sharing your story. So let's just get straight into it. Can you please tell us who you are?
I'm K Emmanuel from Abia State, Nigeria.
Okay. Thank you so much. And can you please tell us about your story?
Well, it was all during my childhood age. I was like 6, 7 as of then. So I was raised with like my single mom, and then we needed some house help, which are like females and some family members. So some distance family members or family friends do come around to help my mom out with one or two things. And yeah, they were much older than me. I was like 6 or 7, and they were at least 15, 18, at least 18, 19, 20, at least. It all started with one of them. The first person was actually, it was Strawberry. That was the first person that started that shit. So she was fond of coming to my room like Gumbody, always wanting me to be around her, my husband, this boy is fine, stuff like that. So she became my favorite person, and my family, like my parents and everyone were okay with that. Okay, okay, this is your favorite person. He like this auntie, he likes this auntie, he likes this auntie, he likes this auntie so much. Along the line, there was one day I came back from school, so I just opened the door and burst in. I saw her there. She just came out from the bathroom. She was trying to dress up and all of that. So she now gave me her cream and asked me to help her with it. So I had to rub her cream on her back. I had to clean her back. She asked me to go down. I went down, all of that. So that was the first day. The second day was actually when she asked us to play some hide and seek. So I was actually looking for her. I would go and hide outside. She would come and look for me, and she would hide. I'll go and look for her. That was the second day. And that night, the night of that day, she cuddled me. She held me down and cuddled me. So after that, the next thing was touching my dick. She now carried me and kept on top of her. That was when my dick first entered her private part. That was how it all started. And ever since that day, we're always alone at home. Like I do come back and meet her at home because she's always at home to help my mom. My mom was always out with work. Each time I get back from school, we do the sexual stuff. So after the first lady, the next ones were ladies, like they were street people, like not like family members. They were just street people that would just come and see your son. This boy fine, no, come and follow me now. Come, let's go out. Those were the experience. But my first sex all started with older women. Yeah, I was introduced to it by older women. Along the line, there was a day my mom caught me doing the act with my age mates, like people of my age
Yeah.
at that time. Since I was introduced to it already, I got used to it. And at some point, I had to do it with someone my age. And my mom caught me. I was dealt with, they beat me and all of that. So that's fear. Okay, I've been beaten already. So what's the need again? I had to lock up. And no one ever asked me, where did you learn it from? The only thing they were just like, okay, I was a bad boy. Okay, maybe I was watching too much of TV. So I was frustrated from televisions and all of that. So that was what happened.
Yeah.
I wasn't given the chance to be asked who taught me such thing. It happened from the first person that came to help my mom, like the first, not like house help, like people that came to live with my mom, then she'll be assisting them with
Yeah. Family members. Yeah.
training, like yeah, to help them with some stuff to pay their bills as well. So it started from the first person, the third person. The last person was like 2012. That was the last house help we had because by then I was grown already. So the last house help, it still happened. So that was it. And it really affected me because since it's something I grew up with, the pleasure got into me. I felt it was normal. I got so addicted to sex.
Yeah. Well, that's such a sad story. Let's go back to the start. You have this family friend who lured you into being sexual. She basically raped you. Let's just put it out clean and clear. She raped you. When you first of all bashed in and she gave you the oil to rub her back and stuff like that, I'm very sure you probably innocently was rubbing her back. Just like, I mean, when we were younger, like my aunties who were probably bigger, they can't reach their back and they were like, hey, help me rub my back, rub oil on my back or whatever, which is normal back then. And again, another normal thing was for, especially when you're a cute little baby, right? A lot of people are like, oh yeah, this is my wife. Some back then we were just innocently doing it. Not we, like it was innocently done. Or like an uncle be like, oh, this is my wife, my wife. I have so many uncles that were calling me my wife. And even the aunties, they'll be like, oh, my husband, my husband. But it's not, it's just a pet name for them, showing that they like you or they love you or you're a cutie or something like that. But of course, there are people like this girl who took it too far. So when you had that first experience, what was going through your mind? Did you even know what you were doing? Were you confused? Were you terrified? Like, what was going through your mind?
Yeah, after the first experience, the first, she asked me not to tell anyone that if I tell anyone that I'll be the one that will be punished because, and it actually happened that way. There was one person that I actually tried to pick up, but I was the one that was punished because she actually said I initiated the stuff. Like I was the one that came and started touching her, so she had to beat me. So the whole stuff was on me and everyone believed her because she was an
She
adult and I
was
was a
older.
kid. So they were now asking more like I was watching too much of the movie, so I wanted to try it. That was everything she was trying to say. Not the first person, but I think the second or the third person. It happened. So I went to tell my big sis. So she now called her to ask her what happened. What is it saying? She told her that it's a lie, that I came at night to touch her and she beat me and slapped me. That was why I came to complain to her because she beat me. She was able to convince my sis more better than me because she was an adult and I was a kid. So
Yeah.
and I was being bullied for that. So ever since that day, I
You didn't
stopped.
say
I stopped.
anything.
I stopped. Even apart from the sexual act, every other stuff that was going on, like every other stuff that was going on, because I've been in a house where my bro actually brought in a girl, which was what actually brought in a girl, which was like a family friend. Our family and the girl's family were friends. So we went to a church program at night vigil or something. They were leaving before the church dismissal. So I was like, okay, I'm coming with you guys. That was at like 2 a.m. They said, okay, now. We got home. When we got home at night, they were now playing, and touching themselves. So I slept off. At the middle of the night, I woke up. I didn't know. So as I woke up, I went to urinate and I came back. I couldn't sleep again. So I now pretended as if I was sleeping. I saw them having sex and all of that. So in the morning, I asked my bro what was going on. He told me they were actually fighting. So he told me they were fighting. All those memories were happening and all of that. So that was, and I couldn't sleep up because if I try to say anything, I'll still be bullied. I
Yeah.
was raised with harshness. So I was raised with fear.
Yeah.
So many things happened to me during my childhood. I was unable to say a word. I couldn't say anything.
Yeah. And, being raised with fear is such a very similar predicament across a lot of African family homes, especially with the younger kids. That's actually why I started this podcast, because when I was younger, thankfully, my parents actually encouraged us to speak up. They encouraged us to always express ourselves as long as we're doing it respectfully. And even when we did it respectfully, people still thought we were disrespectful, because back home, growing up, it was very customary for the younger kids to be silenced and fear instilled in them. You cannot question things that are wrong. You cannot question things that you don't understand, because they would consider it as you being disrespectful, or they will use fear to suppress that urge that you have to express yourself. That ideology has destroyed so many children and kept them from speaking up. Actually, it has even affected so many adults who were suppressed when they were children. Because even as adults, you find yourself in certain situations and you cannot speak up, because that fear actually comes up and suppresses your urge to speak up. I feel like if anybody gave you that opportunity to even speak up and they listen to you, I'm very sure that we probably will not be having this long of a conversation, because that was just the start of a ripple effect that led to other people coming and taking advantage of you, not only because you were young, but because they knew that you could not speak up.
Right. It really affected me up to now because most of my relationship that's broken up, it's all as a result of me not picking up. Like my partner could just do something that got me upset, and something that I know is not well with me, doesn't make sense to me, and I was okay. This is it. That fear of not being yelled at, okay, because I aired out and told you what I don't like or something, and then that fear of you not picking offense with what I said, I'll just let it go. Like,
Yeah.
fine, just let it go. So
Yeah,
it's
which
really
is
not
really
good.
bad, and I'm hoping that our generation, the people in our generation who are raising kids right now, we can really learn from our experiences growing up and change that curse that's going down from one generation to another. I mean, back then growing up, that was a customary of the community, right? I will not, to an extent, I probably will not blame my parents because that's all they knew, but it's our place now based on what we know to actually make that change, right? So that right there, what you just shared is very powerful, and I really want to thank you for that. Now, going to the second person who took advantage of you, what was that experience?
That one was at the street or just normal street person that just comes around and all of that. So they were actually going to swim. They were actually going to swim. So I was sharing a friend because growing up, my mom used to see me like only at night when I'm back. I'll just go out. If I'm back from school, this one will carry me. Hey, come, my friend, my husband, all of this one will carry me. We'll go out, go and buy me stuff, make me feel good, and all of that. So I was always with people. On that fateful day, I was with them, the two ladies. So they were going to the stream because I was born and raised in a branch, not like a township or a
Yeah,
city. It was actually
like
like,
towards a village.
right. So we went to the stream. I went with them, all of that. That was where it all happened. That was with this second person. Actually, that one was not living with us. And after that day, it didn't happen again with just particular people. That was like the first and the last time that it happened. But after that day, I stopped going out with them. If they call me, I'll not go again. I'll run. I'll not go out with them again. It was actually two of them. So I was not going out with them again. They just touched my dick and all of that. I did not go out with them again. It was only two of them.
Right, right. And
After
for
that
those
day.
who are actually wondering how a little kid can be able to penetrate a grown woman, a 6-year-old kid can actually have an erection. That is scientifically proven, and it's actually very normal for a 6-year-old kid to have an erection. And of course, the penis, let's just say it out clear. I don't want to say private part. Your penis actually is very sensitive, just as much as the vagina. You have very sensitive nerves out there. And if you stimulate it, especially the penis, it's going to be erect. It gives pleasure, right? At a very young age, you being introduced to that, I can imagine how it messed with your head, especially when you didn't have that sexual education, right? And I'm sure that as much as how many times you were being raped or taken advantage of sexually, you mentioned it became a habit, right? It's something that you now were led to enjoy because, of course, it's pleasurable.
And
And as a kid, you're not really able to comprehend, or you don't have that discretion to figure out like what's good or what's bad. Like, what was even your ideology from the start about sex? Did you even know what it was?
all right, first of all, it wasn't as if all of this happened at the age of 6. The last house help we had was
20
2013, months before she left our house and got married. Every of this happened at
happened
the age
at,
of 6. That was
yeah,
at the age of 6 was when
when it started
it started. So it kept on going,
going
going,
through.
going.
Yeah,
At some point that I got addicted to it, which I saw it as normal, and then I wasn't waiting for them to initiate the move. I most
yeah,
times I
yeah.
initiate the moves first because I was already used to it and I was enjoying it. Yeah, I was
Right,
like I was
right.
enjoying it. Becoming an adult, that's when I knew that this thing is not just enjoyment, it's somehow embarrassing because how the fuck will I want to sexualize my talking with like every contact I have with any female? I always want to sexualize it. Like if I'm in the same house with you, like we're in the same house, maybe currently because my family know I've grown, I'm an adult, and yeah, such thing will not happen. But growing up, if I'm in the same house with you, there is no way you tell my family that I didn't touch you sexually and they'll believe. So that was how addicted I got into it. Like it messed my life up because
Yeah,
everywhere I go, I can't stay almost anywhere. If I'm in the house like that, there's a woman inside the house. My body will be shaking me until I get to touch you sexually. I got messed up to that extent. So it wasn't easy trying to stop it. That was like was it 2017? 2017 that I told myself, more I got to stop. As I mingle with people, traveling out from my hood, from the state I was born, from like going to new places, meeting new people. So I was like, no, 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 these new people don't have to know my messed up life. No, no, I
mm,
can't continue like this. So I tried my best. Even when I would be horny, I'll just hold myself. So from there, that was when I started this. I won't lie. I started masturbating. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
that was how I helped myself. So if
Yeah,
I'm horny, if I'm craving for that, I'll just rush up and look for a way of having my own privacy just to masturbate. So after masturbating, that emotions, that feelings will be gone until that particular woman that caused me to have that erection. So maybe she will not be there again. Like we go our separate ways. You understand me, bro? If I have that erection, that pleasure of doing it to someone that I know, okay, we've not had any agreement of that or something, I can't just walk out and say, okay, you want to answer something.
yeah, yeah.
I'll just quickly masturbate and remove that
The thought, yeah, the
mindset.
urge. Yeah.
Okay, so gradually, so that was how I had to overcome that part. And after overcoming that part, I had to deal with masturbation differently and at a different level. So, so far, so good.
Yeah. So let's stop right there. We're going to come back to it for sure. When did you realize that you were actually addicted?
Let me say, I was like 9, 10, because if there's any woman in the house,
Yeah.
like those women, those house help, every night, even when they don't initiate the movement, I would be the one to initiate it. I did that shit.
And what did you know about sex? Because being introduced to it from a very young age, like I'm sure it probably must have messed up your own idea about what sex exactly is in terms of, just sexual education. Like, did anybody really sit you down to talk to you about sex? Even any of the older women, did they ever really explain anything to you, or like what was your ideology about it?
The name or the title I was given to read whenever from the start of my introduction to sex was, let's do what husband and wife used to do. Let's do what
Mm.
husband in
And these people are
basically
already calling
I
you
was
my husband. So,
yeah, because
yeah.
I was raised in controversy in Calabar, so it was in Efik language. So they will be like Yaginam Nkwanwan Yebe. Like let's do the stuff of husband and wife because apart from the fact that they were calling me that name, we're used to watching movies, all these movies that you see husband and wife having kids, kissing, cuddling, and all of that. So those
Mm.
movies, I actually know what husband and wife used to do, but I've not done it before. So when it started up, they used that title. Let's do what husband and wife. Let's do husband and wife. So once growing up, when you tell a kid, let's do husband and wife, that
Yeah,
was
like
the
think
mindset that
about
would just
that.
come in. Yeah, that
Mm.
was the mindset of okay, husband and wife used to be together, stay together, cuddle and all that. Like I said, it was like I said that night before it's not that we were playing hide and seek. From there, it's okay, husband and wife. She all those kind of stuff. We now calling all of that. That was when it all happened. So the title that was given to it was husband and wife. After we got used to it, anything I want to do, she'll be like, let's do that thing. Let's go and do that thing. Or me, I'll go and tell, okay, let's do that thing. So it wasn't really like sex. It was when I now started secondary school, I were taught about abstinence in school. That was just one abstinence and all of
Mm-hmm.
that. So that was when I got to know more about sex. We had a lot of condoms, a lot of stuff at home. We do distribute. Most I used to sell it as well.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
So did you ever realize in those your early age that you were actually being abused?
No, I was after the first time, after the other time that I had to air out and I was bullied for it
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
I was seen as
The
the
bad
person at
person.
fault. Yeah, the bad person. So when I went back at night, that same woman told me, "Sha, I told you, like if you go and say it, that they will beat you to do it like a low key secret." So that was how it happened. I was not enjoying the secret.
Wow. How about you? So when you were growing, like towards your teenage years, before you like when you realized that, there was an addiction and you were struggling with it, did your family know at least at that time, or like did your friends know, and how were they supportive of you trying to fight the urge, or it was just a struggle that you were dealing with yourself?
So I'm actually a shy person. If you notice that I don't look at the camera like that, I look at stuff.
I noticed.
Yeah, yeah, I'm actually a shy person. So I've grown up, I've never initiated, like I didn't have sex with any younger person of my age. When you have sex with a younger person, you have to initiate it first. As a man, you have to go and meet the girl, try to
Mm-hmm.
convince her to have. It was actually with older people because there was this chemistry that's they were initiating the stuff. I
Yeah.
don't even understand. So
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
was always with the older people. So if I go out to where there are younger people, I always feel shy. There was a time that one of my best friend, my childhood best friend in primary school, that one, each time there was one day he wanted to have sex with his girlfriend. So he now called me when primary four, sha, he now called
Wow.
me and I was just there. I was not doing it. I was shy to even do anything. So I was shy to do it. To them, I didn't know about sex, but I know if I go back home, my parents found out about the stuff. There was one night, the woman I was like, the girl I was having the stuff with, well, she was older than me now. So she was actually sleeping. She was sleeping. She was not aware. She was sleeping since it's something we used to do. So I was just touching her, climbing her. So my mom walked in, like she came to pick up something from the room. So
Mm.
when just walked in on the light, I was on top of the girl.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get? I was on top
Yeah.
of the girl, and the girl was sleeping already. So I think maybe she was feeling it, but then since my mom walked in, she had to pretend as if she was
Yeah.
sleeping.
She was sleeping. Yeah.
So the fault was also on me.
Mm-hmm.
That was the fault was also on me. The next time I tried to speak out, they didn't believe me
They didn't
because
believe you
already
again. Yeah.
they caught me already. So the fault was actually on me. So that was from that day. That was when my family knew. Okay, I'm already used to this shit. I've been taught about this stuff already. So they were now beating me. Almost. I was I was bullied, no doubt. But my mom wasn't beating me like that, just once in the blue moon. But other family members, they were bullying me,
Yeah.
torturing me anyhow. So I got used to it. If I do any bad thing, I'll just lock up because I
Yeah.
know
And
last last they will
you
beat
know
me.
what was coming, so you're already
Yes,
immune
I'll
to
just
it.
expect the beat. Yeah, I'll just expect the beating. They'll just beat me. So at some point, if the girl was taking my mom's money, she would take my mom's money. She was saving my mom's. All of them like this, they were just saving money in my mom. But the fact that I cannot speak out, if I go
Yeah.
now to tell you now that okay, see what's happening, you will still beat me.
Yeah.
So what's the need of telling you that this is what happened? I just locked up.
Yeah. So when you realized that you were actually addicted and you're really struggling and fighting to change from that, and you sought masturbation, how were you dealing with that? Like, what were the struggles that you were facing, like especially mentally? Like, how did this affect you mentally?
It's not easy trying to adhere from your addiction car to stop smoking or alcoholic person to stop taking alcohol. So it's the same way telling a sexually addicted to stop it. So, but I had to because of the embarrassment you get, the
Yeah.
embarrassment that was coming.
And let me just cut you right there. How many times a week, I would say, were you having sex, or a day? I don't know.
I was so lean, like I was so lean. At childhood, I was chubby, but growing up, I was thin because as long as I'm seeing the pussy, I can have sex every day, every day. So even when I started masturbating, I used to masturbate like 4 times a day or 3 times at least a day. It was
So
really,
it's
it
like it was
wasn't
even
a
affecting your quality of life. It was affecting even your work and other things that you had to do because
yes.
that's all you were thinking about.
I've been on I've, I've been on fasting before. 3 days fasting, which was like 6 to 12, 6 to 12, 6 to 12. The second day, I saw a girl that just came around. Sorry, bro. The second day we did before 9 o'clock, I went to her house because it wasn't easy for me. Like even when I tried to control myself, urge is always pushing me. It was always overwhelming me. So that was how I said, almost the only solution is to masturbate. So when that urge wants to overwhelm me, I'll just run into the bathroom,
Yeah,
masturbate.
right. And again, let's go back to the question about how it affected your mental health.
I think, should I say, my attention was divided. I wasn't having a fit. I might be praying now. Maybe I might be praying now. Maybe, okay, I saw a beautiful girl, or maybe physically, I was coming back from somewhere when I saw a beautiful girl that was sexy or something. Or in my class, or my friend, or my street, there was this beautiful girl that's sexy, that's fine. So if I'm praying or I'm reading, as I'm reading, immediately my mind will just go to that girl. Like, oh, no, this girl, yeah. I'll just be figuring out all this stuff like that. So I'll not be focused with what I was doing again. I would now start thinking, strategizing. How am I supposed to get this person? Ah, how am I supposed to see this person? How am I supposed to do this? I'll now be thinking about those stuffs. My mindset, my focus will now divert from what I was doing, person to the girl I was thinking of at the moment.
Right. And so, how did you train your mind to get out of the whole idea of sex and even masturbation? Or, in other words, how was your struggle with trying to stop masturbation?
I stopped the sex addict stuff. I had to discipline myself to tell myself, okay, I'm mature, I'm an adult, I'm becoming an adult. So I got to act mature, I got to stop bullshit. So even when I'm horny, I'll just I'll just lock up and act like nothing is going on. I'll just be fine. And then after I did this sexual addiction stuff, addiction stuff with the masturbation. So the masturbation actually helped masturbation from being around people. I had to leave my mom, like my family house. I had to go to my friends. Like it was like 4 bedroom, two 4 bedroom apartment. So inside that 4 bedroom, we're like at least 8 boys or 8 to 9 boys. Like we're just there. So okay, it at first was in the hostel. I now left home and went to the hostel during my university days. I was now staying in the hostel. Now in the hostel, I had no chance to do such because people
Yeah,
were there.
there were many
In the
people.
morning, we'll be rushing to bed, coming back from school, just be doing things. Then you would have such time to do that kind of stuff. So after that place, it was with my friends. So that was how I was able to overcome myself because I had no time to do that.
To
I
think about
stayed
it.
I stayed at least 6 months without thinking about masturbation. It was when I now traveled back home. Since we're not having anybody living with us, only me and my mom. So when I now travel back home, I'll just be there, I'll just be bored, I'll masturbate. I had to say no, 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 I have to go back to where I was with my niggas. So that was how I was able to. At some point, said I was like, I used to masturbate before. What happened? Because I forgot totally about masturbation. Later one time that I remember, I said, I used to masturbate. What happened?
I know that how we met was through a mutual friend, and actually, she saw your post on social media. What urged
Yeah.
you to make that post?
It wasn't a post, it was actually a comment of a video Mufasa Tunde did not posted about a lady that took a guy to an uncompleted building to have sex with the boy, not a guy, the boy. So the neighbors that was staying upstairs had to video her and interrupted the whole stuff. So I recalled back everything that happened. I was like, okay, this was the same thing that men are also getting abused daily, but we don't talk about that. I was also abused at the young age through this way. This one will come and carry me and go to a house, go to the stream, go to the bush, go to anywhere. I had to because I said even if that one was acting or not, but it happened, it's still happening, and it will be happening. So I had to share my short story just to tell them, okay, this was how I was introduced to my first sex at 6 by an
Yeah.
older lady. So that
Yeah.
was what.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that. This, again, like I said, the reason why I started this podcast is to have conversations as such and also to encourage us to speak up because there's so much power in being vulnerable as you have been right now. What are all the lessons that you or we have learned from such an experience, from people silencing you when you were young and how, we're being raised in a community where we're not encouraged to speak up and all of those things that have affected you right now based on where you are right now? What lessons, looking back, what lessons have you learned about yourself and what things are you willing to change, especially with your own children?
The lesson I've learned is that, all right, the lesson so far is that we all got opinion about everything. You understand? Everyone has their own opinion about something. So if something happens, don't try to judge from one person. Try to understand from the both parties to know what actually transpired. That was due to how I was bullied and everything. So secondly is that my kids, in terms of my kids, I will make sure I give them free platform to express themselves. I will make sure they don't fear me, not just me, but their mother too, my wife. So I'll make sure I and my wife raise our kids like our best friends freely. And the fact is that bullying someone does not make the person change. Because if it's based on bullying, I wouldn't be set at it. I wouldn't be admitted to sex because each time I was caught on the earth, I would be bullied, they would beat me, stab me. After the moment, I'll still continue back. So bullying actually changed nothing. So our kids should be like our best friend. We should be filled with them. And then we shouldn't give them false mindset or false teaching about sex.
Yeah.
Because if you fail to teach them the truth about sex or about life, they will learn it the wrong way from people. And if you tell your child, especially your girl child, don't allow any man to touch you. If any man touch you, you'll be pregnant.
Yeah.
Now she goes outside. The first man that tries to touch her, she'll be like, "Don't touch me, oh, please." My mommy say I'll be pregnant if you touch me. Now the male child that is more mature and experienced than your daughter would now be like, "No, no, 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 no. Your mom is lying. You'll not be pregnant. If I touch you, should have touched you. You'll not be pregnant. If I touch you, you'll not be pregnant. Your mom is lying." Now the person now succeeded in convincing your daughter to tell her that she'll actually not be pregnant. He touches her. So, and eventually, maybe along the dragging, he finally touched your daughter, fingered her,
And
and
she's
all
not
of that.
pregnant.
And she went home and she was not pregnant. The next day, the guy will now tell her, "Shey I told you, are you pregnant?" She'll say no. Now she will voluntarily want to do it from her heart freely.
Yeah.
She wants to do it freely because she will now figure out that you are a liar, that
Yeah.
there's pleasure, that there's something more to it that you are hiding from her. Since the consequence you told her did not work out, okay, there is more to it. So,
Yeah.
but if you could sit her down, tell her that this stuff will not get her pregnant, oh, that she's not up to the age of getting pregnant. That this is what will happen, this is what will happen. This is the reason of sex. Sex is enjoyable, it's pleasure, all of that. Let them know the in and out of it. Just like I was raised in a bad area, like
Mm-hmm.
where I was raised. Everyone, they all my class, everyone they were all cultists or they are all cultists. Where I was raised, there's no good guy there. Everybody a bad boy. Everybody they bad. The reason why I was not into I didn't join any cult or something was because my brothers were able to tell me their stories, their childhood stories. Like my late brother was killed because of the stuff. So my brother was able to normal call to speak to. If you don't call, nobody will do something. But the fights happen, they will kill you. This will happen, they will kill you. So I was told the advantage and disadvantage of it.
Yeah, and you made your
So I
own
was able to
decision.
know, okay, yeah, I was able to know, oh, okay, these are advantage and disadvantage. So I was able to choose what I want for myself, actually.
Mm-hmm.
For example, you telling your child that don't join cult. If you join cult, you do this, they'll kill you, not graduate. They'll do this, they'll do that. So the guy actually got admission after being admitted. His friends, someone tried to bully him. His friends now told him, "Omo, if you join cult, nobody go to touch you, nobody go to believe you." And based on he did not tell him that part of the story, and he said, "Okay, since I'm being bullied, let me give it a try so that nobody will touch me." He
Yeah.
now gave it a try, and after giving it a try, it worked out. Nobody actually touched him. And along the line, his senior colleagues in the cult game graduated from the school. They graduated, like all of them graduated. Now, you that told him that if he joins the cult, if you become a cultist, he will not graduate. You'll be a liar.
Mm-hmm.
Because those people that convince him, most of them are graduates. Most of
Yeah.
them are graduates. Most of them are in their final year. And he is just level 100. So how do you expect him to believe you that he will not graduate if he joins them?
Yeah.
Better you sit the person down, tell the person the good and the bad, and this is what you do. Just like if you're playing bets, they'll tell you in betting, if you play bets with higher money, if the game should enter, you win higher. But if you lose the game, you will lose higher too. If you're using 1,000 to stake a game and your winning should be like 1,200, if the game did not enter, what you're losing is just 1,000.
Yeah.
And if they go should enter, all you're winning is just one to profit of 200, which is nothing. But if I should start the game with 1 million, my profit will be 1.2 million. If the game should enter, your profit is 200 naira, and my own profit is 200,000 naira.
Yeah.
So you see the difference.
Yeah.
But if we should lose the game, you are losing just 1,000 now, and I'm losing 1 million.
Yeah.
It's really different. So it's better you tell me the good and the bad. But if you not tell me, don't play better, you lose money. And then my roommate, every week, the guy is taking 100,000 and is making it. He will take 100,000 and he will make work every week, every week. Do you think I'll not decide or I'll not want to give it a try one day? I will.
Yeah. That's very
But
true.
if I understand the negative and the good part, I'll know what to do. So I think we should be able to teach our kids the sexual part, especially teach our kids the truth about sexuality, about cultism, the society, and all of that. Because the problem of humanity is fear.
Yeah.
Once you have the fear in you will make you want to do something. And once you do that thing and that fear did not happen, you continue doing it.
Yeah.
Just like now in religion, you'll be told, okay, fornication is a sin. If you fornicate, you sin. So your first time fornicate as a Christian, as a devoted Christian, you'll be so scared of fornicating.
Yeah.
But the first time trying it, maybe your roommate is doing that constantly and nothing is happening, no repercussion, no consequence, and nothing. You'll be like, see the same fornication this person is doing. Nothing is happening. You want to give it a try. So if we have been told the truth from the right people and our parents, you as a parent, you're the right person to tell your kids the truth. So if you tell your kids the truth, they will be able to understand that, oh, this is it. Now, if I want to do anything, it's my choice. I have to choose what to do.
Right.
And I'll not let my kids to have a favorite person that is not my biological brother or sister or me, myself. If it's like cousin, distant family member, I'll not let them to have a favorite person, like at the young age, until maybe they are up to the age of knowing what is good and what is bad.
Yes, yes. Because those favorites, it's always the closest people that tend to do that harm. You know, a lot of stories of abuse have really not been from strangers. They've actually been from, the closest people that the kids trust and stuff like that.
A stranger cannot do that because if a stranger, just like now, if you have a daughter, if a stranger touches your daughter, touches her wrongly on her private part, if she comes back, she will tell you, Mommy, one brother like that on the road
Yeah.
touched me.
Yeah.
But if it's someone that used to come to the house every day, a family friend,
Yeah.
she will not tell you.
Yeah.
Because first of all, there has been this atmosphere of comfortability between she and the person.
Mm-hmm.
She's comfortable with the person. She sees it that just like now, if a stranger gives your child something, anything edible, they'll bring it to you, they'll tell you because they are afraid, they are scared
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
being harmed by those stuff. But if your own friend gives them that thing, they will not be scared of. They'll just eat it. Of course, their
Yeah.
mom is friend. They are
Yeah.
comfortable with the fact you gave them the yeah, the mom is friend. So from the young age, you have to tell them. But I was scared, like our fear is always don't you shouldn't teach them that thing. They don't know it, they are kids. They don't know. So no you're teaching them. You should teach them that this is the private part. If any brother touches you, come and tell me. Don't let any brother touch you this place. Show them, teach them, sit them down, lecture them. So that if it will happen, they'll come and tell you. As your kids are growing up, you should try to discuss with them how was your day? What happened? Where did you go to? Did anybody touch you? Try to
Yeah.
make them feel
Have that open
comfortable, feel at home.
conversation. Yes. It's one question I really forgot to ask. It's never really too late. Now that, you succeeded to overcome the addiction of both, like the sexual addiction as a whole. So, considering your history, right? Because some people, when they have like some kind of addiction, whether it be sex or alcoholism and stuff like that, it could actually affect who they are, especially when they're dealing with a partner, right? Because you could let's say, for example, alcohol. The alcohol addiction is something that is lifelong. Addiction as a whole is, I think, it's lifelong. Like, you have to consistently fight that urge whenever it comes, because you could come across certain triggers that will trigger something, and you have to always keep fighting. So it's more of a journey than a destination. And in this journey, you will meet people that you could fall in love with. There could be some habits or some things that come up, or something that could trigger you and how you react to it. Like, you gave an example that now, since you were shut in your childhood, like they silence you, it's now an issue. It comes in between your relationships because you're not able to express yourself. In terms of the addiction, has it like impacted like your subsequent relationships, or like how do you carry yourself right now in your relationships? What are the boundaries that you set? What are the things that you're very conscious about in your relationships?
The boundaries is that I don't think I'm trying to make my answer to be okay with the question to understand it very well. I don't know if what you mean is me wanting to have sex regularly or me not wanting to have sex regularly with my partner. Is that what
No, 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 no. That's not what I mean. I'm just talking as a whole with respect to even communication in your relationship, and let's
oh,
say expectations in your relationship.
the only thing that I know affected me is the being able to speak out because I cut people off. Apart from the relationship, I cut people off easily. So I'm not really having issues and all of that. I'll just cut you off. You not get to hear from me again. Excuse me, I'll get your number and all of that. I'll just cut you off. That's the only problem that's the only thing I know that has affected the relationship because I wouldn't just accept I truly maybe what you did is not really too much. Like it's not really deep is not really that important or painful. That's when I
Yeah.
could try to air out and ask me, what do you do this man? Don't do this. As long as it's painful, like it's very deep to me and it's something we could sort out. I'll not want to talk about it. I'll not let it be.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. And another thing is that it has helped me to control myself sexually. So I don't just see a girl and rush to have sex with her.
Yeah.
Even when I have the urge, but I still try to maintain myself, maintain my big brother.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story, Emmanuel. This is such a powerful story. I don't even know if you realize how powerful it is, just the fact that you're, coming on a very public platform to share your story. I really, really, really hope that a lot of our people can learn from your experience and learn from your story, and also have that encouragement, be encouraged or empowered to speak up just the same way that you are, because it's from speaking up that we heal faster. It's from speaking up that we tend to know that we're not alone, for those who feel like they're alone in this. And this is such a heavy topic to even talk about. And the fact that you had the courage to stand up and speak up, especially as a man and an African man, I really, really want to applaud you for that. Okay. I don't know if you have any last words.
The reason why men don't speak out or don't speak up about sexual abuse is actually not painful to men. At the beginning part, it's actually not painful to men, but it's painful to a woman. As a woman, your first sex will be painful. You'll bleed, you'll feel the pains, you'll cry, yeah, as first sex. But men really don't feel any pains as far okay, there's no evidence that you have sex with anybody
Mm-hmm.
or anyone sexually abused you because you just no pain. But as a child, as a girl child, you feel pain, you bleed, you cry, all of that. That's as an evidence. So the society tend to sympathize you the more because you went through a lot as a woman, the pains
Mhm.
and all of that. If you notice men raping, men sexual abuse is like it's fun to this society.
Yes.
If you talk about men being raped, you see other men say, please, where is it happening? They want to be raped. So
Hmm.
I want them to
That's
rape me
true.
too. I want to. Yeah,
Yeah, and a lot of them, even if they're joking, it's like they make light of it, which
a
is it's not
woman
supposed.
can never joke about that. A
Yeah,
woman can never joke. Not because women enjoy sex more than men.
yeah.
The reason why women will not be joking about it is not because of the sex, it's because of the pain that comes with it. As long as the one is not ready to have sex, she will not be wet. And for you not to be wet, it will be painful to you, no matter how funny it is. You never see any woman comment, please, they should rape me, or who is going to rape me?
It's also an emotional thing, right? Women also like the sex is emotional also for us. So if you're not emotionally connected to somebody, that's an emotional violation.
Except you are paying a woman for sex. The
Yeah.
only reason she will have sex with you is from emotion. That's why cheating to women is not really a mistake, bro. Because except you're paying her, if you're not paying her, then it has to be emotion. It has to be emotionally prepared for it. But men see it as a normal thing to just have sex. That's why if you talk about raping men, then other men will be commenting. Where is it happening? They should rape me. Women should come and rape me. They should not forget me. All this stuff. Because there's no pain in it. It's just pleasure, pleasure. So the only way you know that it's painful or something, it's just when you know you have been addicted to it. You got to learn it at a young age. And anything you learn at a young age gets to impact morals. That's what the Bible said.
Yeah.
Train up a child in the way he should go.
They will never
And
depart
when
from it.
old, he will not depart from it. Now, it's very difficult for you to convince someone that was raised in a Christian home or a Muslim home to depart from its beliefs.
Mhm.
It's very difficult. If you an adult that doesn't believe in religion, that's because the person has gotten to a level of psychology, that tells you that we need to think outside the box.
Yeah.
Like someone like me, I'm not religious. I don't know. I don't like religion. I was born and raised in a Christian home. I was able to think outside the box. What if I was not born a Christian? Will I be a Christian? No, I will not be a Christian. So I was able to think outside the box. Okay, what if I was born in India? Or my parents were Hindu. Doesn't mean will I ever believe in Christianity? No, I will not. So why should I limit myself? I should free myself so I can think broadly. Because if you cannot think broadly, if you limit your mind into a particular thing, then you'll not be able to think outside the box. You're not able to think broadly. You see all every other thing, the other people as bad people. You see the other people
Right.
as bad. So if you move yourself outside the box, you understand, just like in politics, I don't know about your country, but in Nigeria, we have APC, Labour Party, PDP. Now, every party member will convince you that their own candidate is the rightful
Is the
person.
best.
Vote for this person. They will give, if you sit down with them, they will give you reasons, and you say you'll be dumbfounded because they will give you vivid reasons why you should support that person. Now, if you sit down with another person, the person will still give you another reason why. But if you don't belong to any of this party, you'll be able to analyze outside from the box. So, okay, this is not true. This person is not true. It's not true. It's not true. From there, you add it up together and give yourself an understanding. As I am, I can get married to any religious person, whether you're a Christian, a Muslim, Hindu, Buddhist, Judaism, anyone you are, I can get married to you. But if I was a devoted Christian, I would not get married to anybody that's not a Christian. But as a devoted Muslim, I will not get married to anybody that's not a Christian, a Muslim, because it's against my belief. I tend to see it as this person is an evil person. This person believe and my own is different. So do
Mm-hmm.
you understand what I'm trying to say? Your kids from childhood, you should be able to let them know the right from the wrong. You
Yeah.
should let them to go and now give them the choice to make allow them to make the choice.
Yeah.
Allow them to make the choice. Allow them make the choice. After telling
So
them the good and the bad, The only thing my parents allowed me to do was to roll with bad boys. Yes, I rolled with bad boys, with cultists, and my friends. I was seeing my friends bad boys. But if I come back from school, I would just say that there was one cultist fight that happened, and they now matched on my friend. They removed his hand. That
Wow.
year, I'll be like, eh, Jesus
Uh,
Christ, this is what happened to my best friend. That
that's
year,
crazy.
I've been able to make my own choice.
Yeah.
I'm able to make my own choice. I'll choose not, I'll just, come on. Now, I know if you be coffee, so I know if it, I'll just choose. Okay, do you know that I don't smoke, I don't drink, and I was raised in the good, in the church. I was raised with bad boys, bad companies, smokers, but I don't smoke, I don't drink.
It's a
That's that
choice.
that that was because I was able. I gave myself the vision to choose on what I want. I choose not
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
So allow people to choose. Don't force things on people. If you case your kids, that you allow them to go out, you stop them from going out. Any day they step outside,
That's it.
maybe they went out with their friends and then they step outside. Their friends still they went for a birthday party or anyhow, they sneak out to a birthday party. Trust me, they will always want to experience that party again.
That's true.
They will always want to. So if I'm getting married, get married to as a bachelor. If I'm getting married, I have to make sure the person I'm getting married to is sophisticated. You've been exposed. You've seen life. You've you've enjoyed life. You know the good and bad part of life. So it's you are actually ready for marriage, settle down. You know act. Always no get use. You've done all of them. They will not entice you again. You've traveled, you've done so many things. So someone cannot just come to you and tell you, I want to take you out for vacation. It won't entice you because you've traveled a lot. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
You've had that experience. But if you've not had that experience before, one way or the other, you'll be secretly planning to go on vacation. And if the partner cannot afford it, you want to follow up that other person and go for the vacation. People should experience some things. Experience is the best teacher. Experience is the best teacher. So if your kids wants to go out, wants to do anything, let them know the consequence of doing that. Or probably you could take them out yourself.
Yeah.
Take them out yourself. If it's to go to party, to club, take them out. Let them have the experience. Take them out. Church, take them to church. Mosques, take them to mosques. Give them different books to read.
Yeah.
I never had opportunity to learn all these things. I learned all these things late. So that's why everything I learned late, my kids, they will not learn them late from the beginning. They will learn it. Teach them, give them Quran to read, Bible to read, every other book you know. Teach them about every other religion you know, not just one religion, plenty of religion. Allow them to make the choice. Allow them to be able to differentiate from the teachings, from the doctrine, and say, this one, this one. Because currently, as Christians, there are Christians that worship on Saturdays, and there are Christians that worship on Sundays. I'm the Sabbath
Mm.
worshiper, which is on Saturday. Most of those Sabbath worshippers, they were all Sunday worshippers. They had their own reason. They saw their own reason why they should worship on Sunday, and they decided to worship on Saturday, and they decided to worship on Saturday. So you now, as someone that is not a Sunday or Saturday worshiper, before you start, before you choose any of them, you have to sit down, listen from this Saturday worshippers, Sunday worshippers, and they should give their own reasons. Not think as human, because what as human is trying to think with your brain. If you cannot think with your mindset, then
Yeah.
you're not human. You're not educated. If you cannot question everything they tell you, everything you have been taught, you're not educated. You are free to question without being scared of any consequence. Because if your child comes to tell mommy, how do we make babies? How do we come to this world? You not tell them, if you grow up, you know, or it's God, don't worry, somehow. You not try to bypass the fact that you have sex, that the parents, you guys had sex, you got pregnant, after 9 months, they came out. If you don't tell them that stuff, one way or the other, they'll be worried. They'll grow with the fact that they really want to know the truth about it.
Yeah.
And I might end up asking the wrong person. The wrong person will not see them the wrong way. So I think we have a very, very big role to play as parents.
Yeah,
We have a big role.
raising
Because
the next generation.
everything we learn, every share we have in us, we're given by us, we're given by our parents. Like it all happened during our childhood, infant age, childhood age. Because before you know that, just like I was raised by my single mom, like this, if my stepmother gives me something, I can't go to my stepmother's family like my father's family and then eat something from them because I was given the instinct, the mindset growing up that my stepmother doesn't want anything good for me, that I should not eat anything from my stepmother so that she will not kill me, so that she will not eliminate me. So that mindset, I grew up with the mindset. I have this mindset that my stepmother is evil. And if she gives me food, if I eat any food that she gives me, she will kill me. And my father's family, they are evil because I was raised by my mom, my single mom. So it all depends on the mindset,
Yeah,
childhood mindset. So anything you tell your, if you raise your kids alone, you tell your kids that their dad is evil, that their dad wanted to poison them, their dad wanted to kill them, and you ran away with them. I swear to God, if they grow up and meet their dad, maybe when they are at the age of 18, 17, 19, 20, there is nothing on earth that their dad will explain that they will believe him again.
yeah,
Even when you are gone, especially when you are gone, there's nothing on earth that their father will explain again. After meeting at the age of 18, 19, that they will believe their dad again because of what? The information you gave them while growing up stays
yeah.
forever. That's the most important information. That's why if you don't get to teach your kids about your own dialect, your own language, your own native language at a young age, if they grow up,
They
they
can
will not
really,
learn it.
yeah,
They
that's
will not
very
learn it.
true.
So we have a big role to play as parents.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate all the resourceful information that you have shared with us and all the very good advice that you have shared with us. You definitely have learned a lot of lessons from this experience. And I hope that other people who have experienced something similar can also learn as much as you have. I really appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me as well.
Yes,
Thank you for
yes.
having me here too.
Sure, sure. You're welcome. And I hope that we can carry these conversations within our community and have these talks, and also have open conversations with our community as well. Like you mentioned, it's very important for us to, encourage our kids to speak up without fear, and that's exactly what my parents did to me. And that's exactly what I'm going to do to my kids. And that's exactly what I'm trying to do for our community to create this space at Living African Podcast where we can come and share our stories without the fear of being judged and also empower one another to keep sharing those stories actually and to keep being vulnerable. So thank you so much for coming on and I will catch you in the next episode. Bye.